We got a fly in here.
I think he's probably still just chilling from last week.
We may not want to name him because you don't want to get attached.
Oh, yeah.
We're crushing it right now. My gosh, dude. And Saturday we had the Craft Beer Festival.
Beer Festival.
And man, like the VIP tent was just insane. So, like, what does the Spectrum Center offer?
Someone reaches out to us and they're like, I need a doctor. I need legal assistance. We have a network of people that we refer them to.
Lane walker, not Keenan stroller, not Keenan jogger, not Keenan sprinter. It's Keenan Walker. Keenan Walker, yeah. The Hardest Street Boys, Hardest Street Boys. Hardest Street Boys, it's the Hardest Street Boys.
Like and subscribe. Timing.
Timing.
All right, week 2, no AC, the no AC saga.
Here we are. I'm wearing like an ice band around my neck.
And I'm just going to, I always sweat. You can tell that I sweat in every episode when we have AC. So I'm just it's gonna be hilarious to see where I'm at by the end of the episode with this light blue shirt.
Yeah, you should add a graphic to that.
I can, Drew's sweat meter.
Sweat meter.
So what's been up, man? What'd you get into this past week?
Man, this past week I enjoyed Camp Create. You know, I volunteered with that. Got to help out with Abigail Lynn's Allen. It was so much fun getting to hang out here at the Art Center with a bunch of cool kids. A lot of those Camp Create kids. So, yeah, good times. Did some cool art projects. And, yeah, had a ball.
They always have characters. I got to interview some of them last year, and the answers were very creative.
Oh, yeah.
So that makes sense for a camp called Camp Create. But, yeah, man, the Art Center, there's always something going on in here. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool that we have this.
One of the cool things that I got into last week, you were there, I actually had a performance at the Thirsty Hippo.
Yeah, you did.
And it was so much fun.
You crushed it.
I did my little audience participation sheets. A couple of my little fill-in-the-blank questions were, I love the smell of blank in the morning. That was a fun one. As well as blank is one of my favorite activities. So,
yeah, there were a lot of... how do I put this? There's a lot of horticulturists there.
Yeah.
People really into plant life.
Yeah.
So,
I just, a lot of like-minded people and a lot of goofy answers, which is good for what I'm doing,
I really like the audience participation thing because it is it's just engaging and you can play a beat and like really everybody wants to hear their answer read, you know? So it's a little more, it's kind of like Mad Libs, but it's a little... I don't know. It's a little less legwork involved. Like, just fill out your sheet when you get there. So for people who weren't there, when you go to a Massive J show, you have a little sheet where you fill out just like maybe 6 or 7 fill-in-the-blank questions. And you try and make them as funny as you want, or actually sometimes the boring answers are really funny.
True.
So, but you just fill it out however you want, and then you, over a beat, you'll sing, do stuff, and then read those answers. And it's like... It's such a simple concept. It really plays. So.
Yeah, and as a person who likes to do a lot of improv stuff anyway, giving me something, it's like, hey, this actually, I was talking with Brad after the show, and we were just talking about how much fun I had and how he enjoyed the show. I always love playing at the Hippo. I'm so happy they let me do that. Shout out to Brad Newton, and also shout out to Randall and Mason, our amazing bartenders.
Yeah,
so,
always asking for Fireball.
Oh yeah. No, don't do that.
It's always fun, that kind of banter. And, I know we live in a small town, but there's advantages to a small town. Somebody like knowing Randall and Mason will be behind the bar at the Hippo is, like, very comforting. And I know that I can kind of, mess with them a little bit. And they know that I mean it in good fun.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that was a good time. And yeah, you did great, man. It's cool. You got a new board so people can, if they don't have cash to tip you, they can do Venmo, PayPal, and that's the way of the future. You go see a musician, they are earning, but tips really do help any live musician you see. That really makes a difference.
Oh yeah, it was so cool when I talked to some friends about the sign over it's Signs First. Talked with Patrick Skinner over there. And I was like, hey, I need a board that kind of for my virtual tip jar. You know, it's kind of like you say, as artists are going, you play somewhere, people need to be like, hey, how can I? Because we, not so many people carry cash like they used to.
Right.
But having QR codes on there to where people can just flash their phone up there and it gives them like a direct link to whatever app they choose. And couldn't be more happy about the way it turned out. Yeah. And I actually got a virtual tip Friday night at my show, so that was cool.
Yeah, you did great, man. It was really cool to watch, and for me, it was fun to just be in the audience and like just see you do your thing, man. It's not because it hadn't happened in a long time. It's been a while, so it was really cool, man. It sounded great. We got a fly in here.
I think he's probably still just chilling from last week.
Probably last week. What's the fly's name? Let's name the fly. And you actually put in the comments what you think this weird fly that's in our studio, what we should name him. I think... I
want to give him a nickname like Freaky.
Yeah. All right. Freaky.
Yeah. Old Freaky.
I'm going to get him, though. Freaky. We
Freaky.
may not want to name him because you don't want to get attached.
Oh, yeah.
So
I see you, Freaky.
We're crushing it right now. My gosh, dude. And I've already...
My neck is very nice and chill.
I'm already I'm already seeing my first droplets. So anyway, we had Beer Fest Saturday.
Beer Fest Saturday.
Wait, before that. Sorry.
Before that.
Friday morning, I actually went to Twin Forks Rising. All right, it's right on East Pine Street. I'd never been there before. I really didn't even know about this place. I went because of Festival South. It was Katrina Cox was doing songs for Juneteenth by like black composers, and she's like an opera singer. She's apparently a vocal instructor at William Carey. And man, she sounded great. But I tell you what, the Twin Forks Rising place is like really cool. It's something worth checking out if you're ever downtown, right down East Pine Street, kind of go past Saks and the Comp Building, and really cool. I really enjoyed that. And then Saturday we had the Craft Beer Festival.
Beer Festival.
Town Square Park. I want to know, I forgot it though. I brought one of those little mugs. Do you hold the little mug by the handle, by the tiny handle?
I would think so.
You do? The whole time?
I was pretty much kind of holding it that way.
I just held it like a cup.
I wasn't holding it with my pinky out or anything. Oh. Not too much.
I feel like if you hold it by the handle, you have to hold it with your pinky out.
Pinky out, man.
If you've been to Craft Beer Fest, you know what's up. It was the 8th annual, but really we had like a 2-year gap, so this would have been the 10th, right? Yeah.
I think you're right.
So, but anyway, it was awesome. It was cool. I actually took some video for Visit Hattiesburg, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And man, like the VIP tent was just insane, super nice. And however, there was rain. The rain did get a little intense.
Yes, it did rain, and I actually kind of stayed a little dry. The first storm, it rained like twice for a good 20 to 30 minutes each time. And I think the first time it rained, I went and sought shelter in the little gazebo, or the cigar lounge as it was on Saturday. But yeah, in the little gazebo, high and dry, enjoying Beer Fest. And then the second storm, I went and hung out under one of the beer tents and continued to sample some beer. It was actually kind of, I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of people still enjoyed the event despite the rain.
The rain made it fun.
It cooled it off a little bit, you know?
and I looked like a diva because I had gear, so I didn't want it to get wet. So I was already soaked through, so I ran to my car. I was like, I'm going to put my gimbal up and then come back. And then I was like, I'm at my car. I'm just going to go home and change real quick and come right back. I go home, power's out at the house.
Oh, wow.
Going like, what's happening? I drove through hail, like ice hitting the windshield going, this is biblical rain. For like the 1 3-hour span, we don't need it. Like I was me personally, you know how I get. I was very fired up at the weather. That's a pointless feeling to have. But yeah. But coming back was funny because everybody's like, you're so dry. I'm like, yeah, I went home and tried to get the power turned back on and all this. It turned into a whole thing. But yeah, got to hang out there. Craft Beer Fest is always cool. I had like a whiskey ale that was really good. That putting beers in whiskey barrels is real popular. Ben Green is actually a genius at it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was cool, and there was a lot of good stuff. That's what's so cool about it is like, you know, I had somebody tell me like, yeah, well, it's, you know, for the ticket, I can't drink that much beer within a a 3-hour period. I'm going, yeah, but this is like 100 different beers. So if you were going to drink 100 different beers in any other circumstance, you'd have to buy at least a 4-pack or a 6-pack. That's hundreds to maybe like a 4-figure sum if you're going to buy that much beer.
Yeah.
So like the fact that like, you know, if you were upset about or didn't understand the pricing of the tickets, like that's an insane deal. It's, you know, you're getting to taste all these different styles of beer from different places, different breweries, and it's the connection with the people who make it, you know, getting to hear from them like how is it made, you know?
Yeah.
I enjoy that aspect as well.
Are there some that stand out? Because I'll give you a couple of the ones that stood out to me.
What'd you get?
Some of the beers that stood out to me, there was I think it was Chandelure that did a beet beer, like a beet bomb, maybe. I feel bad if it's not Chandelure, but whoever had the beet bomb, that was a good one. I tried some really good beer that Tin Roof made, a Paloma, which was really tasty. Tin Roof out of Baton Rouge, really good beer there. And then also I tried the one called Landmass from Parish Brewing, and that was flavorful. I was going for a lot of the sours and stuff.
Yeah,
you know, I love a good sour beer.
I liked the Bat Squatch by Rogue. I'm a big Rogue. Dead Guys, like,
oh yeah, they make some great ales.
I gotta be careful with Dead Guy. I had 2 Dead Guys at your show, and I was like, going, okay, all right, focus.
A double Dead Guy, but
double. Yeah. Ask Cody Ruth my relationship with Rogue Dead Guy. He'll tell you. Ruth Dog, but yeah, and then there was a Waldo beer. I don't know, I don't know if that was, it was Lagunitas. And then it was actually cool. Tom Pace, guy I went to high school with at Hattiesburg High, has moved back to the area, and we were talking about how cool it is to run into each other now. And he's like, yeah, we need more Hattiesburg people in Hattiesburg. And I was going like, yeah, I never really thought of that. Like, it's so nice to bump into him because he's such a nice guy, like just a good soul. And he's like, dude, check out this Waldo beer. You'll freak out. And he was right. I had several samples of it.
I ran into him. I saw Tom.
Yeah, Tom, great guy. So
there was also some good home brews. I tried a couple of the guys from Mobile. One was like a spiced chocolate brown ale or something like that. It was pretty tasty.
Yeah, I had the Dungeons and Flagons from Colludium, and that's one of my favorites because it implies, you know, that there's dragons in it.
Yeah,
I'm Chinese Ear the Dragon, so I feel very close to that beer.
Yeah.
I've never played Dungeons and Dragons though, so.
Colludium also did like I want to say like a blackberry sour or something. I tried that. It was awesome.
Yeah, they're killing it. All the homies at Colludium, they're great people, man. We love y'all. So today we have Keenan Walker.
Keenan.
Keeks with a Camera
of
the Rewind podcast of the Spectrum Center. We're going to learn some stuff today. I can't wait to talk to him because, you know, it's Pride Month.
It is Pride.
And Spectrum Center in Hattiesburg offers all kinds of services for the community. But, like, quite frankly, I don't know enough about it. So I can't wait to sit down with him and talk to him about it.
Yeah, let's learn something.
Let's go. So after this, Keenan Walker.
Keenan, what can we learn today? Everyone say, hey, it's Keenan, it's Keenan. Hey, here we go on the show, about to start now, about to start the show, oh, wow. Here we go, drop that beat, drop the drums, yeah. Now we fade out like this. Fade out like this. So let's start the show.
I don't know if you know this, but his fade out is his specialty. So thank you, Jamie.
What a way to like get brought into the show. I'm like, a little OG intro. I'm into it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, he just created that on the spot. That's all original. That was definitely not a cover song. So Keenan Walker, how are you, sir?
I'm great. It's been a long day, but here we are.
Yeah, here we are. Here we are. No AC. We're sweating it out, but we're doing it for the people because we care about the community. I want to hear about your work with the Spectrum Center. First of all, because I'm terrible at small talk. I just want to get into what you do. Yeah. I'm real bad about it. All right, what do you do? What's the Spectrum Center, and what do you do there?
Alrighty. Well, the Spectrum Center is Mississippi's only LGBTQ plus community center with a physical location. So there are lots of other organizations around the state, but right now we're the only one that has like a physical place that we call home. And we offer several support groups throughout the month. We host community events and try to just build general awareness within our community.
Yeah, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So where is the Spectrum Center located?
We are on North 25th Avenue, like a block down from Planet Fitness.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, South 25th Avenue.
South. Did I say north?
Yeah, I think you said
Whoops.
north. South
South.
25th.
South.
Well, once again, this is that you can Google that too. It's okay.
Yes. Google is our friend.
Your Google should work. Your Google works like our Google works. But
I promise that our Googleability is up there.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Yeah, it is now. You
done.
just made it a word.
Stamp.
So what does the Spectrum Center do? Like, what kind of services do they offer for the community? Because it's one of those things where, like, I personally know of it, right?
Yeah.
I know you're associated with it because I know you from around town, just being, like, I think you're an influencer, right? Everyone knows you. You're a great photographer and just always, like, fun to be around. And you're always, if something fun's going on, you seem to be there. So like
all the inside scoop.
yeah, for sure.
Man about town.
For sure. So like, what does the Spectrum Center offer for the LGBTQ plus community?
One of our primary things is collecting affirming resources. So if someone reaches out to us and they're like, I need a doctor, I need legal assistance, we have a network of people that we refer them to help connect them with those services. We're offering a little bit more in the ways of mutual aid funds. So we're helping people that reach out to us and they're like, hey, I have nowhere to go. I'm unhoused. So we try to work with a few other local organizations to find some place for them to go and have a roof over their head.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is that a common thing? Like to
more than you would think.
Why would that be an issue?
Sometimes it's hard to find work. Other times these kids have, been kicked out. They don't feel like they can be around their family, so they're looking for some place to be.
Well, okay, so this is like this is kind of a tough topic to talk about. Yeah. Like in Hattiesburg, do you feel like the city here is welcoming of the community? Do you think it's do you feel like it's a comfortable place? Because like for me, I don't really have to deal with the same issues, right? So
I think there's a reason why I tend to stay within the circles that I stay in Hattiesburg. The city in itself has always been supportive. I've put on, 7 Pride events here, and Hattiesburg has always supported what we're doing. Not always the people. We've had a few protesters over the years, but we keep going.
Yeah.
I
feel like something like that, though, you see, I don't know, protesters, I feel like they're in the minority, right? Like it's not necessarily, it's different from maybe, I can't speak to time, but I know like how it was when I was in high school versus now. The attitudes have completely changed. And look,
get all the hard stuff out of the way early.
Well, okay, look, I know we're kind of jumping into it, but this is what I'm curious about.
Yeah.
And this is what we need to be talking about. And a lot of people, like right now, I'm nervous because I don't want to say the wrong thing, right? But I do carry a certain amount of ignorance about that's my privilege, right? There's a lot of issues that I don't have to deal with, but I want to know how I want to be a good ally, especially it's Pride Month, and I don't want. It's tricky because Pride Month does kind of seem like it's being corporatized,
Yeah.
So it's like, what do I, I want to be of service.
I always tell people Google is your friend. Google and good common sense are your friends, because, you know, sometimes Google doesn't serve us the things we need it to serve us. Always listen to someone who is living in that experience and humble yourself. And if they're telling you, no, this is offensive, listen. I think that's the best. Just be humble and be prepared to be educated.
Yeah. So how long have you lived in Hattiesburg?
I moved here 2 weeks before Katrina.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you've been here for all of it.
Yes. Yeah. I've been here for quite some time. My entire adult life, I've lived in Hattiesburg.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you here because of the university? Did you go to school here?
I moved here for school, dropped out because I was poor, worked, went back to school, and grew up.
Yeah.
And here I am.
Yeah. You're a townie like us.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cool. I mean, I think it's a cool place. I'm curious to learn more about like what the Spectrum Center does as far as, especially like with youths and people who maybe feel like they don't necessarily have a place. Like, I mean, how do you reach out to the community, and how do you navigate what can be very like tricky and incredibly personal situations? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think we have to work with people who are very willing to live their lives publicly and be that like champion of visibility. And by doing so, we can go to events like Live at 5 and table there and talk to people, talk to parents. We have a network of parents that already bring their kids to our monthly youth group. And in that youth group, we have a counselor that works with Petal schools and one that works in Lamar County. And they meet with the kids every month. And they have a space to just come and be themselves and talk about any of their successes. And if they're having some, troubles, we can discuss it in the group. And they have a place where they feel safe.
Yeah. Did you have something like that when you were growing up?
No. I think that's one of the reasons why I stayed involved, because I think it's important that people have a place where they can go and be themselves if they don't feel like they can be at home.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I mean. We've learned over and over again, having people on this show, what people really care about is people. We all have activities we like and hobbies, but it's usually like those things because the people who are involved with them make you feel good and make you feel like you belong. Everyone deserves that in some fashion. So you're a board member at the Spectrum Center. What does that entail, right?
Well, the center is volunteer led. So we do everything from pay the bills, run the social media, to plan the events, decorating, setup, take down. It's pretty hands-on, and we try to split the duties so that not one person feels like they're being overwhelmed, because it very easily can be overwhelming. I think anyone that works with a nonprofit or has to plan events can tell you that it can be a lot.
Yeah. It takes up your life.
Yeah.
How many people do you have helping?
This year has been very good. We have probably about 13 active members and then more volunteers coming in. So for a few years, it's been myself, my VP Mickey, and a couple of other people that have been helping us get by.
So you're kind of in the podcast world too.
Yeah.
Right? And you recently started the Rewind podcast. So what was the inspiration behind that, and what do you cover?
So Jonah and I used to work together, and we bonded over Buffy. We are huge Buffy fans, and we were also listening to a couple of the same podcasts, and we're like, let's do this. And so we finally sat down and we're like, okay, we're gonna hit. I think we did like 15 episodes of Buffy across all of the seasons, and what the ones that we thought kind of drove the plot through the show.
You bonded over Buffy. What is the main topic on the Rewind podcast?
So we have since shifted to covering more pop culture things. So we did like the Marvel movies, and we talked about a couple of more popular television shows when they were airing in the last season, of course. So we wrapped season 2 recently, but the first season is a lot of Buffy, and then these interlude episodes we call Cancel Cast, where we both research a show that we really love that was canceled too soon, and then we talk about it, which is, it's like, I miss this show.
Yeah.
It gives you a chance to go back and rewatch some stuff that didn't give you a satisfying ending.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, so you rewind, like, that's what, okay,
yeah.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. That makes
yeah.
total sense. Yeah. Okay, so what have you learned then being part of, like, podcasting, right? Getting to work on camera regularly. I mean, has that helped you with, like, your confidence and how you deal with people?
I think it made me pay more attention to what I say before I say it, so I don't have to go back and edit it. Yeah, I think it's given me a little bit more confidence. I hate public speaking, and I've found myself having to do that more often. And I think since I've done the podcast, I've felt a little bit more comfortable doing it.
Yeah. Just doing it more regularly.
Yeah.
Well, what do you love most about Hattiesburg?
I mean, hands down, it has to be the people. You know, Hattiesburg has some of the most amazing people here, and I feel like any city I've ever been to, I could take people from Hattiesburg, put them there, and feel like I'd have the same life. You know, like, there's some amazing people here.
It's surprisingly worldly for the size, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's because of the university too.
Yes, it helps.
Okay, I want to talk to you some more. It's very hot. It's very obvious that it's hot. There's flies in here, so I'm so sorry, Keenan. But more Keenan Walker after this.
Okay. There's a lot of them.
And we're back with Keenan Walker, podcast personality and Hattiesburg personality,
Hattiesburg
really.
royalty.
Yeah,
Not
dude.
royalty.
Bro,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
What's your throne look
Okay.
like?
Oh, what does my throne look like? Geez, what would my throne look like? Oh, that's off the top. I'm just gonna be lame, and I'm gonna go for the Iron Throne. Give me that. All those melted swords.
What's your royal animal? Like lion, dragon, horse,
Not a horse.
donkey?
Let's go with a dragon. We like a dragon.
Bro, we talked about that earlier.
We're into a
actually.
dragon.
Dude, always dragon. Always pick dragon, for sure. So you had the Rewind podcast, right?
The Rewind.
And that was, you bonded over Buffy and all that. So you also have a new one, though. Like, so tell me about this, because you kind of, I mean, no offense, you like to nerd out. We like to nerd out.
Yeah. So I listen to a podcast network it's the DCTV Podcast Network. They have individual shows for all the DC TV shows. And so I've listened to them for years, interacted with a host via Twitter, and I was asked to be on the new podcast for Justice League Dark. There's a whole universe being developed for HBO Max, so like we're gonna cover all the Justice League Dark related shows. So we've been doing character spotlights, and it's been a lot of fun. And I've gotten a host on some of the other shows. So
Who's in the Justice League Dark? Because Justice League's it's like Batman, Superman's.
yeah, so Justice League Dark are all like your magic characters. So you have like Constantine and Zatanna and Dr. Fate. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I don't know any.
You
of
know
those.
any of those? Dr. Fate's going to be in the Black Adam movie.
Okay, Black
coming
Adam.
out.
That's
Yeah.
The Rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. See, I'm huge into Batman. Batman is life for me.
Okay.
I don't have I don't really have a firearm in my house, but I do have a Batman mask.
Nice.
And then it has like a hammer, and it's like break glass in case of emergency. So in case like something's like going down, I could always. In my head, I feel like I can fight crime, but I probably. You're saying I definitely should?
I mean, do it. I keep a machete under my pillow, so.
Under your pillow?
Yeah. Why
Is
not?
it a machete? I feel like a machete is always dirty though. Like your machete's clean.
It's pretty clean.
Okay.
It's pretty clean.
Like-
Yeah.
I've never seen a clean machete. You ever seen a clean machete, Jamie?
No, I mean, if it gets a lot of use, you'd think it'd be, fairly dirty.
Yeah. They're like
Clean it up afterwards.
Why are all machetes rusty in my head?
I don't know. Maybe it's about where people put them. Where do you keep your machete? Some people keep them under their pillows.
It's in the sheath.
Yes, in a sheath.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the sheet.
It's not like straight blade pillow head.
It's not like a raw machete.
Yeah.
Okay. In the comments, Please let us know where you store your machete.
Yeah.
I would love to know.
And
Give me some new ideas.
Do you keep the sheath on?
Yeah. The piece of sheath.
Always use a sheath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's it like getting to talk about? Like, I feel like you have to keep up with the comics. Do you read a lot of comic books and stuff?
I have started reading comics, but it's really all about the TV shows. So I'm already watching them anyway. So I've been on the Superman and Lois podcast and Naomi podcast. I was on a few episodes of that, and it's just been a lot of fun to talk about like nerdy nerdy stuff with other people, because I don't have a lot of friends that watch all those shows. So
right. Yeah, well, but then you can be that person who brings them in.
Yeah.
Hey, didn't you say you were going to Comic-Con? Can you tell us about that a little bit? You're going to Comic-Con soon?
He said he didn't want to talk about that, Jamie.
I can talk about the Mississippi one.
Yeah, the Mississippi one. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah. I'm going to go to Mississippi Comic-Con on Sunday and get that photo with Christina Ricci.
I have some things to tell Christina Ricci.
What do you want to tell her?
For the show right now, I just want her to. I want to ask her, how dare you, for how she made my heart feel when she was in the movie Casper when I was a kid. I had a hopeless crush on her, and
but not when she was Wednesday Addams.
Addams Family. I wasn't as big into Addams Family. Casper though, that movie I watched like a lot, like on the regular. Actually, my family was. So I had family lived down the street from the boy that turns into. Actually, no spoilers. I don't want to spoil the movie Casper from '94.
I think it'll be fine. Like from Devon Sawa?
Yeah. He used to.
Wait, you have family members.
He lived down the street from my grandpa in California. And they're like, yeah, we know that's so-and-so. I'm going, what? And then he got to dance with Christina Ricci. And so I was like 1 degree of separation from that. And then so I just want to ask Christina Ricci, how dare you? Like, I was just chilling in Mississippi coloring. And you didn't even know about me, and I had this huge crush on her. So.
Well, I just realized that I have 2 degrees of separation from Devon Sawa. That was the important part of the story. I think.
Yeah, because you know me.
Yeah,
we're good, dude. We're all friends. So, now that'll be fun. So, what do you do at a Comic-Con?
I don't know. It'll be my first one.
Okay,
I'm very excited.
I feel like Comic-Con's like that's where people go and trick other people into buying comics because the con, right?
Oh, okay.
Is that what the con stands for?
I like where you're going with this.
And you think you're getting these really cool comics, and you open it up, and it's just a bunch of classifieds.
Just a bunch of classified ads.
This is a Comic-Con.
So I need to open the comics first.
Yeah, make sure that it's actually comic books before you pay for them.
I'll be so mad.
So, well, dude, that's cool, man. It really seems like you're on the move, doing lots of cool things. And you still do, like, on top of this, I think most people see you with a camera in your hand. You still do photography and everything?
Yeah, I not as much as I used to, but I still will pick it up and go to an event every now and then and snap them, and then they just kind of sit in the archives for months on end, like edit me.
Ooh,
so that's where I'm like, I'll just leave the camera at home tonight.
Yeah, I don't want the edit guilt to get me.
Yeah.
Well, it was cool because you played along. You were such a good sport. I did a video for Visit Hattiesburg at downtown Crawfish Jam, and I want to say thank you for doing that because I know it was kind of outside your comfort zone. But I want to say this because you said I'm going to start saying yes more often and yes to more things. And
I did.
I really admire that. So thank you.
Yeah. New things. Let's get out of my comfort zone, shake it up a bit.
Yeah, man. Well, it takes a special kind of person to do that. Not everybody will do that, you know? So what is the best way for people to get involved with the Spectrum Center or even really to reach out?
Okay. I think the fastest way is just to message us on Facebook, and we're just the Spectrum Center. There, if you Google us, the Google business page will pop up. You can click on the website because it's really long. It's just the Spectrum Center of Hattiesburg.com. Yes, .com. Womp womp. And sign up for the newsletter. We send one out regularly. I'm sending one out when I get home. And we try to keep you updated on all the things that's going on and how you can help or donate or whatever. We'll take your money or we'll take your time.
Both are welcome.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. Well, all the links are in the description below. So if you want to get involved or if you need help, you want to reach out, there's a community here in Hattiesburg, and y'all are doing some really brave work. And, you know, once again, not everybody can do that. So we're very appreciative of you, Keenan.
Thank you.
I think it's time for Jamie to play us out. You got it, Massive.
will go where you go. Keenan will listen to you talk about the show. Keenan Walker. Keenan, oh, it's Keenan. It's Keenan. It's Keenan. Yeah, Keenan was on the show. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
Get faded, man.
Yeah. Keenan Walker. Keenan Walker.
How quiet can you keep going? How quiet can you do it? How quiet can you say?
Thank you.